What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and we're going to be jumping back into the Doom Tower. It is the third day the Doom Tower has been available. So we're going to check out the 21st through the 30th floor, see if we can get to the third boss, who's going to be new today, and then figure out what the secret room over here on the left is going to be. So kind of had fun doing this the other night, so I wanted to do another video, and hopefully this one won't go too long. So we are going to jump in here, and we're on the 21st floor, and I actually was thinking about changing up my team a little bit tonight. I'm kind of working on a little bit of a starter guide for certain champions, specifically the login reward champions, so kind of want to highlight Haikatune a little bit and see how she works out in this Doom Tower. And then also wanted to bring in War Maiden for a little bit more defense down, so we're going to go ahead and switch up the team a little bit, and if we have trouble we can always go back to the roster. But let's jump in here and see how this goes. We're going to stick with Elgato just because she's been so good for this content so far. And a lot of people were sleeping on her when she first came out, didn't think she'd really be worth investing in, but I think she's pretty good. And she's one of my favorite champions that I have, mainly just for the aesthetics. And that's one of the things that's really fun about this game is I love her attack with the giant serpent tendrils that come out of the ground and hit people. I think that's so cool. But so far this team's doing pretty well. They don't seem to be having too much trouble here. But I wanted to bring War Maiden into my team tonight just to see how she would do. I hadn't been using her, but her defense down I think is going to be pretty valuable for this content. Champions like her and Zargala. So floor 21 was not too bad. And let's see, of course the cat has jumped in to join the fray here. Since we're trying to make a video, she wants to be in the mix. You know you're not supposed to be up here. Alright, let's just keep on going. We'll try to... It's funny how every time you try to do something, your pets want to be involved. Alright, and we'll do floor 22 here. I also wanted to level set a little bit tonight about kind of how I approach my raid videos in general. Is trying to come with these as kind of the perspective of someone who is more of a mid-game player, kind of more of a reality versus some of the stuff you might see in some other videos where, you know, people are in-game, they've got all the best champions, you know, all the best level 16 6-star gear that's all maxed out. And I kind of wanted to bring you more of some of the realities of someone who just kind of might play this game like somewhat casually. You know, I don't spend a ton of money on this game. I drop a little bit on some packs here and there, but for the most part I'm pretty much no spend, low spend when it comes to Raid Shadow Legends. But I've still, you know, been playing for about 7 months and managed to build a pretty solid roster, I think anyways. And I kind of never go at it with the idea that any of my champions are bad. I kind of like to look at it as, you know, they're my champions and I'll determine whether or not I think they're bad, and I'll kind of work with whatever I have. It's one of the reasons I like just getting new legendaries and getting new epics just to try out. You know, people say, oh, that champion's terrible, don't waste your time, and I'm like, you know, I'll figure out a way to make it work. Which is kind of funny because going into this content now, I've got a fully built, fully ascended Elgato to use, which is super helpful against these duplicate champions that you face. And there's a lot of people that are just now like, oh no, I need to build her out, and you know, it would be so helpful if I had that champion. So, you know, depending on where your account is, you don't always have to go by a specific way to play the game. You don't have to specifically go by a certain tier list. I kind of joke around and call it paint by numbers. It's kind of what everybody does these days in gaming. It's like, you know, new content comes out, one person figures out like the fastest possible way to get through it, and then everyone just tries to emulate that instead of kind of playing the game at their own pace. I guess the cat agrees with me. She's trying to have a conversation here. She hates it when I'm making videos. She thinks I'm on the phone, and like anytime I get on the phone with somebody or try to talk, she just jumps up here and is like, pay attention to me, not that what you're doing. Alright, what do we got here? We got some charms for the forge. Okay, cool. So that's floor 23. So we're moving through this pretty good. You know, I don't know. At some point, I almost expect to hit a difficulty wall here in this content, even kind of where my account is. As I showed you the other night, I kind of struggled. Couldn't even beat the first floor of the hard content. So we're pretty much just going to stick to the normal content and see if we can farm the fragments to make the first epic champion that you can get from this. That's kind of my plan right now, is just to see how far we can push through this. before we have to start working on building up some gear, building up the roster. And that's also something to consider when you come into this, the Doom Tower. I see a lot of people complaining about it, and especially some newer players, because they can't really do it. And that's kind of, unfortunately, the way these mobile games work. If you're just now coming into the game and you're just now starting to play, there's stuff in the game you're not going to be able to do right now. And I know the Doom Tower is fun and exciting, it's the new content, but you have to understand that there's people at endgame in Raid that have been waiting for a year just to have something to do. So the hard Doom Tower, it's incredibly difficult right now, and I think that's a good thing. You know, that's going to give people content to play and something to do. So just keep that in mind if you're just coming into the game. You know, it may take you a little bit before you can jump into this normal tower and start progressing, and that's just kind of the nature of it. You know, just work on your champions and build up your roster a little bit. Here's my other gripe with the Doom Tower. You know, we're on floor 24, and, you know, a rank 3 chicken is the last thing someone like with a mid-level game account is really going to need. So I think they need to take a look at the rewards on this after it's been out for a little while, and maybe think about how they could make them a little bit better, just for the general, you know, mid to early late game players. Because, you know, as I mentioned in my other video, the stuff I'm getting from here, the rewards, I'm not going to use them. So what I've been doing actually is I've been creating the gear that you can craft, and I've actually just been selling it. You use the forge like an ATM for silver. You just go in there and you make the piece for, you know, 1,000 or 3,000 silver, and you sell it for like 20,000. So that's a good way you can put the materials to use if you're not going to be using them. But, you know, this is not, has proven to be that difficult yet. But like I said, I know there's going to be a wall that we all run into once we get high enough in this tower, and it's going to be interesting to see what point that comes. And I'm kind of curious to see what this boss is tonight, because we have a new boss we're going to be going up against, and that's kind of fun too, is having new bosses to play against. You know, a lot of the bosses in the game are pretty much cookie cutter at this point. Like, you know, kind of what you have to do against them. You know, the clan boss, the dragon, the spider, Fire Knight, all that stuff is kind of everybody's been doing it for a while, but now we're going to have some new boss mechanics to learn. Like, I was reading about the nether spider we fought the other night, and you know, I was going in there with HP burn champions and doing all kinds of stuff that I probably shouldn't have, but we managed to beat it. So it's kind of just figuring out what you have to do here. All right, let's see. Let's go check out the secret room. Ooh, attack champions only. Well, this should hopefully go a little bit better than the Bannerlords one that we did the other night. So we've got a pretty decent variety here to choose from. But I actually don't have a lot of 60s in attack champions. So, and I don't know who has gear. Some of these we could use our 3 cold or 4 cold hearts. It's kind of one of the quality of life changes I wish they would make to this game, is make it easier for you to kind of see who has gear. So let's go with Allure, because turn meter reduction will be good here. We can go with Frozen Banshee for accuracy. Let's stick Elaine in here. Let's put War Maiden for her defense down. And let's see, Dark Elaine. I would probably throw her in there if she was high enough level. I don't know exactly. We could put Fane in and see how well. Let's see what affinity. They're magic, so we don't want spirit. So Magic Draco there. Let's see, we have a Force. You know what? I'm just going to use Yaga. Yaga the Insatiable. Who's another character I kind of want to do a little bit of a starter guide onto. I think that's one of the cool things about this game. Like, there's content for all levels of players, and I think that's one of the things. If you've watched my videos for a long time, you know I tend to cater more toward people that are just starting out, or kind of mid-game level players, to kind of help them along. And that kind of comes from my days playing Warframe, where early game can be very difficult, and it turns a lot of people off from playing the game, so they wind up quitting. And I hate seeing that happen, because, you know, if more people stick with a game for a little bit longer, they might enjoy it a little bit more. So that was pretty anticlimactic. 25 seconds, that's pretty good. We got 3 more shards of Archmage Helmet, so cool, and 2 silver keys for the boss. So let's go back. That was a lot easier than the 7 minutes it took to do the Bannerlords. I think that's going to be one of the easier rooms, because a lot of people have all these attack champions. Just kind of see what I bet the best time is probably like 3 seconds or something like that. Nope, 5 seconds. Yeah, you see just some of these are all in-game players that have. I mean, they're doing it with one champion. It's pretty crazy. So, but there's Secret Room 3 down pretty easily. We'll jump back in here with our sort of standard team here. I just kind of wanted to throw Hakatoon in because she's got the speed boost aura for all, and she's got a little bit of turn meter reduction on one of her attacks too. So she's your first login champion you get at day 30, and just kind of wanted to highlight a little bit here that you can use her for some of this later game content. She's a great champion that they give you 30 days in, and it's kind of funny. I've been thinking about this a little bit. I think they kind of give you specific champions as your login rewards early to kind of help you out for where you should be at that state of the game. Like 30 days in, you're probably just getting an arena team together, and Hakatoon is probably going to be your first speed booster unless you've been really fortunate on pulling somebody else. So getting her is like, she's a huge help for arena early on. And then like Yaga the Insatiable, he's not an amazing character, but if you have yet to pull a poisoner on your account, when you get him at 60 days, he can be really helpful in Clan Boss. And that's kind of what happened to me on my main account. Was I was kind of forced to use him because 60 days in, I didn't have a Frozen Banshee, I didn't have Kale, I didn't have any of the general good poison characters, so I kind of wound up having to book Yaga and build him up a little bit, use him in the Clan Boss. And then you get Dark. I think Dark Aethel is the 90-day login reward, and she pretty much is usable in the Spider Dungeon, and that's pretty much one of the few places she's really good. Her entire kit actually is pretty much designed around the Spider Dungeon. So it's like almost like they're kind of steering you in that direction. Like, hey, at 30 days, here's some help with your arena. At 60 days, here's a little bit of help with your Clan Boss team. At 90 days, you're probably starting to get into some dungeons a little bit more. So here's a character that'll help you out with your Spider, because Spider Dungeon is one of the harder dungeons to build a team for, and especially early in the game. So it's kind of interesting how they tier those champions when they give them out to you at first. So this is a little slower going here. It looks like we're finally running into some mobs that are a little bit tougher here. Not quite sure who these other characters are, but see there, we got a decreased turn meter out of Hakatoon. That's pretty, utility characters like that are going to come in handy for this Doom Tower, where you're able to just do all kinds of different things. You want to put a team composition in that they can do all kinds of, decrease speed, decrease turn meter, decrease their defense, block their cooldowns, things like that. AoE champions for this I think are really, really good. It's like Bellower. If you stick a stun set on them or sleep set or something just to keep the mobs from going. Alright, cool. So we're moving on up. Got some more rank charms. Again, this is all pretty, it's like I've been griping about. People are gonna get tired of hearing me say it, but the rewards are just kind of eh. Okay, so we got Spirit here, and I like to keep an eye on the affinity too, because you can change that. You can change up your team to kind of get a better affinity matchup, and that can help you get through here. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But just having that, the ability to affect cooldowns on duplicate champs with Elgato is just such a huge ability in this content. Try to kill this man-eater before he drops his unkillable. That's a little too late. Nope. I don't know if he got it up there or not. Yeah, see, my War Maiden is not designed to be super tanky. She's designed basically to come in and do damage. I use her in my arena team, and then in some dungeons. But she's basically just a glass cannon, pretty much. She's designed to kind of throw her defense down out there and hit pretty hard with it. She is one of the best champions you can actually get as a free-to-play or early game player. When you get to the Deadlands with the Barbarians, just play that stage until you get a War Maiden to drop, and if you want, you can keep playing that stage until you get her multiples of her, so you can have easy books. But she is such a good character in this game to even use throughout the end game. So we got that stupid unkillable buff. It's like that Paragon cheese you run into in Faction Wars. You have to sit there for 3 minutes, and this is where turn meter reduction actually hurts you a little bit, because when they get that unkillable buff, if they can't take their turns, it's like it just stays up forever. This is where having Rosin Scarhide in would have been good, because he can take those buffs off. That's what I'm saying. Like any kind of utility you can bring in these mobs. Madame Ceres for if you can remove the buffs to But see, this is just taking, we're just having to wait for him to go so he can take off his unkillable, and then we can finally kill him. That can get really frustrating. Alright, cool. 75 energy. That's actually the best reward we've had so far. Alright, we're really close. We got one more, and then we're going to go against the new boss. Alright, we're just going to stick with this team until it works. Or until it fails. That's kind of another thing you may want to try to do, is once you find a composition that's working for you, just keep doing it until you run into some tough things, and then that's when you can kind of start seeing what else you've got in your roster that you can use. But so far, it's been pretty smooth sailing. You know, we've got Raglan in case anybody goes down. That res on her is huge. I need to work on it. I think I'm still building up Elaine's gear. I think I changed her around so she could hit a little bit harder. So I still need to get some of her gear pieces up to fully built to 16. But she does a pretty good job. She was my starter champ on this account. I know everybody says pick Kale, but you know, I hadn't really found any of the guides for the game at that point. So Elaine was my first starter, and then my free to play I took Kale just for his poison utility that he gives you on the clan boss early on, so that's kind of why. See, I mean, this is... God, these rewards, they're just not very good. Alright, let's go up here. I think we're at the boss, which is the giant crab. So we are going to go look on the info, and I'm going to try to actually pay attention this time and see what we are looking at with this guy. We go down here. Okay, Scarab King. Attacks all enemies with a decreased attack and a decreased speed for 2 turns. Places an extra hit on enemies that don't have... Okay, I remember reading about this guy. This is the guy where you kind of have to have shields, and I think I have the perfect champion to use on this. Attacks all enemies, extra hit for each buff on the... Oh, wow, that's interesting. Each extra hit steals a random buff from enemies that have no shield, and removes 1 random buff from... Wow, this guy sucks. This is going to be pretty tough. Puts a true fear debuff on enemies who have buff stolen and a fear debuff. Okay. So we kind of need a cleanser on this guy. And we also need a shield champion, which I think I've got a couple people in mind. Okay, decreases damage received according to how much his max HP has been decreased by. His HP... Wow, this guy's pretty tough. This is going to be a little bit more difficult than last night. Counterattacks when attacked by an enemy with no shield. Immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block, cooldown skills, fear, and true fear. Also immune to HP exchange, HP balancing, and cooldown increasing effects. Okay. That is... See, that's the thing, too. Having to remember all this is pretty tough, but I think the most important thing is going to be the shields. So I'm trying to remember who I have that's got a shield set on them. And I think I know Miss Creative Monster puts out shields. But there was... Oh, here's... Okay, I want to use Draconis here, because I know he can cleanse, and he can also do the shields. Where's my... Here he is. This is Bergoth the Blood-Soaked. He was one of the fusion champions to make... I think it's Vergumcar. And I think, where's his ability here? So the first hit puts a shield equal to 25% of the damage he does, and the second heals all allies by 10%. So that's a 4-turn cooldown though, so it's going to be tough for him to have that up. I wonder if I have anybody in his shield set. That's what I'm trying to remember, but I don't think that I do. I'd have to go all the way back out to, you know what, let's go just check and see. Trying to see if anybody... I think most of my people are going to be in lifesteal. Trying to remember who's got... Vrask is it a shield set? Huh. That might be something to try. Oh, and Painkeeper's in a shield set. Okay. That might actually be better, because she's void and she's fully... Well, he is too, so... If we really want to be ambitious, we'd use both of them. Alright, so let's see what we're going to do here. Let me try to remember what his... Okay, he does all allies at 4 turns. So we're going to have 2 4-turn shields with these guys. See, the problem is you also have to think if you stack too many champions, you're going to lose the ability to do enough damage. So actually, I'm going to leave Draconis in since he cleanses. And where is my Painkeeper? We'll go ahead and try her first. If I can find her. There's Vrask. Where I hate this. Anytime I need to find a champion and it's on like live, it's like I just can't find it. Okay, I know she's not that far back. There's Reliquary Tender. There she is. Alright, cool. So we'll stick her in there. Alright, we need some damage. That's for sure. Try to take this guy down pretty quick. I'm going to leave Raglan in just because she is my booster and she can revive. And I guess let's put Elaine because she's going to hit the hardest. This guy's Force Affinity too. Ooh, okay, maybe I don't want magic in there then. We kind of want some spirit champs here, so I don't really have a spirit champion that does a whole lot of damage, I don't think. My Armiger is not built up yet. Feign might work here. And I can't believe I'm going to do this. This is all speed. Okay, we're going to put Morty-Macabre. Corn Cob's going in. We're gonna try him out. This could be an absolute disaster, but we'll see what happens. This is kind of the fun thing too on this channel. You're gonna see just, you know, if I fail, I'm not gonna hide it. I'm just gonna show you know, you'll get to see it if I screw up. So these waves should not be a problem, but I'm really concerned this boss is gonna be tough because he's got so many crazy skills. But we should be able to get through these waves pretty easily here. Got a lot of damage between Feign and Mordu, hopefully. And that shield set from Painkeeper, that's going to last us 3 turns when we get to the boss, so that's going to be the good thing. And then hopefully that'll kind of last long enough for Draconis to get his shield up. And hopefully we could just kill the boss fast. We'll see what happens. Take these two guys. These two guys are pretty tough. I think Fein's still in her lifesteal, so she can kind of heal herself. I don't remember what kind of set Draconis is in. Just kind of see what this guy... See, having that shield up is good. That's going to help us out. But we gotta do a little bit more damage. This guy is not taking a whole lot here. And now our shield is down, so I think his big passive was he takes less damage the more hit points he has, so it's just gonna take a while to learn these new boss mechanics. I wonder what that little purple bar is up here. I wonder what that's supposed to be. But yeah, this is pretty tough. This guy, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this right now. We may have to go back to the drawing board. We may not be able to beat it tonight. We may have to tweak a few things and see. So yeah, we got to keep shields up more often than what we have. So it's not really working out too well. See, we lost we lost 2 people. So. That is not very good. Yeah, I think we even need to sit here and waste our time. Let's get out of here. And try a different team. Okay. Let's put Norog in here. See if he can do anything. Let's try War Maiden for the decreased defense. I still think we're going to have the shield set. You know what? We'll throw Bergoth in there and just see what he can do. Where is Vrask? See, I'm just worried we're not going to have any damage. I'm tempted to try Cold Heart, but I don't know. Let's see here. Like I said, I just don't have many spirit champions that are well built. We got Shield Guard. He can he can hit pretty hard once he's built out. We've got cool. That might be an interesting play here, but he's trying to remember how his shield 3 turns. Maybe we'll put him in and see how he does. I like Vrask though, because he can kind of heal every time he crits. But you know what? Let's try this and see what happens. And now we just need somebody to do some damage. Where's my level 60 Cold Heart? We'll throw her in there and see what happens. And I'm not going to let this go on too long. If we can't beat him the first couple tries here, we'll come back and try it again later. But having a War Maiden in there, maybe that'll make a little bit of a difference. Just kind of see how this goes. Probably still should have brought in somebody with a shield set on him, but we'll see how this team works out. Well, we got through the waves a lot quicker. But again, we don't have a cleanser either, so this could be kind of tough. Yeah, this guy just, man, he just takes you down fast. So, I don't know. This is, this team's not going to do it. Alright, we'll leave out of here, and we will try again. And after that, I'm probably going to stop the video and go read up on this guy again and try to see what the secret is here, because this is not going very well. Whew, I liked War Mage. She helped us get through those waves really quick. But we got to get something for this boss. This boss is just really solid. And I think it said he was immune to like debuff removal or buff removal and all that, so... let's see, where's Vrask? I'm going to put him in there. Thought I had him out here somewhere. You know what? We're going to try something crazy too. We're going to put Tila in. Why not? Why not? Why can I not find Vrask? Where is he? Where is my elusive orc? Oh, this is too funny. Yeah, I need to work on it. You get Sandlash Survivor built. Vala would be pretty good here probably too, but that's the problem, you know. You get into these things, you don't have all the champions built. Not necessarily going to be that easy for you. We got Jizo. Yeah, we got all kinds of spirit champions. We just haven't worked on them that much. Alright, so we've got our shield set in there. Let's see. It's just we gotta have some damage. If we don't have damage, I don't see how we can get through this. I hate putting magic champions in here because they're just negative affinity. Yeah, I guess we'll just throw Raglan in. What's Tila's aura do? Resistance? That might be helpful here. Let's see if that works. Of course, I'm going to do that. Probably should just put Rosin in because his is higher. So, but we'll see how this goes. It just seems like if you don't have that shield, this guy's just going to tear you to shreds. But the problem now is I don't have anybody to reapply any shields after that 3-turn shield wears off. So we're pretty much, you know, that's like the thing is how can you burn him down fast enough to where it's not an issue. But we just might not be able to clear this right now. And it's gonna be. That's kind of like the thing I was saying, like on the hard. You know, I thought at this point in my account I'd at least be able to clear a floor or two. So if we get to this point, we get stuck this early in Doom Tower, it's kind of like, oh well. We have to just go work on the rest of our stuff. Yeah, I can't do any damage on this guy early on. Looks like he's healing himself too. I wonder if he's got one of his passives. Decreases the damage. Counterattacks when attacked by an enemy with no shield. So he's going to start. That's why this. Okay, see, that's what's screwing us over here. He just starts hitting us with that counterattack. Okay, well, you may have to go back to the drawing board here and just build a team of all shield champions and come in here, because this is not working. Yeah, it's not working. I guess it's either nuke this guy super fast, if you know, but we don't have really the champions to do that with. This is rough. Yep. All right, I'm not even gonna waste my time here. All right, so we're gonna have to figure out something to beat this guy later on. It's not happening right now, so we will stall out there tonight. And this video again went 30 minutes, which is a lot longer than I kind of want it to go, but let's see if we can see what other people are using here. And of course, these top, this is going to be all, it only shows you the top 10. Yeah, I guess so, huh? So, alright, well cool. We will, we'll go back to the drawing board and see if we can figure out a team to beat this, and we'll try again later on. But anyways, guys, it's disappointing we couldn't get through that guy, and we'll have to end the video there, but kind of wanted to just give you a look at the next little bit of the Doom Tower there. As always, if you guys have any questions about anything in the video or Raid Shadow Legends in general, feel free to leave it down below in the comments. As always, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you again next time.